Have you ever found yourself caught in the emotional web of toxic people? It's like walking through a minefield, right? Every step can trigger an explosion of negative emotions. But don't worry, because in this video we'll explore 15 smart ways to deal with toxic people using the principles of Stoicism. Now, if you are new here, please like the video and subscribe. Statistics show that only 15% of my audience is subscribed to the channel, so if this content has helped you in any way, I ask you to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now, let's start this transformative journey together. Are you ready? 1. Recognize the importance of self-awareness. Self-awareness is like a flashlight in the darkness of the human mind. This quote, attributed to writer and philosopher Alan Watts, highlights the importance of understanding who we are and how we interact with the world around us. When it comes to dealing with toxic people, self-awareness becomes an invaluable tool. It involves being in tune with our emotions, thoughts, and behaviors, allowing us to recognize how interactions with toxic people affect us and how we can respond more effectively to them. As Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "Know thyself," suggesting that self-understanding is the first step toward personal growth and wisdom. When we are aware of our own emotional reactions to others' negativity, we can make more conscious decisions about how to handle the situation. The next time you face negativity, take a step back and ask yourself, why does this bother me? What can I learn from this? These questions are not about making excuses for others, but about reinforcing your own mental strength. Take a moment to understand that this path will not be free of obstacles. Self-awareness and navigating through the smoke of others' negativity is not an easy task. There will be days when it seems easier to simply react and return what was thrown at you, but that is a fleeting victory, one that feels empty because it betrays who you are. Each time you choose to respond rather than react, remember that you're not doing it because it's the easy option, but because it's the right one for you. It's about building a fortress within you, not from arrogance, but from a place of strength and calm. It's not about ignoring negativity, but about recognizing it without letting it define your actions. So, embrace the challenge. It sharpens you, makes you more resilient, and in the long run, undeniably stronger. 2. Cultivate your emotional stability. Emotional stability is like an anchor that keeps you firm in the midst of the storm. When you find yourself surrounded by toxic people, it can sometimes feel like you are walking through a dense fog, where each step feels uncertain and clarity fades. But what if I told you there is a way to clear the fog? It starts from within, through the strength of emotional stability cultivated by Stoicism. Think of that person who, no matter the chaos, is never perturbed, like a mountain that stands firm against the furious storm. This is not about being indifferent or cold. It's about recognizing that the only thing truly under our control is how we respond to the external world. Stoicism teaches us that our power lies in our reaction, not in trying to control the uncontrollable. So, when we face toxicity, we analyze our inner Stoic. Instead of getting involved in the drama, we pause. It's like being in the eye of the hurricane. Everything is wild outside, but here it is calm. This space allows us to breathe, think, and then act from a place of rational serenity. It's about shifting the focus from what's happening around us to how we're going to let it affect our inner peace. And how do we do it? By practicing mindfulness. Yes, it's mentioned a lot these days, but here's the real trick. It works. Mindfulness allows us to detach, to observe the chaos without getting caught up in it. It's not about ignoring the toxicity, but about recognizing it without letting it dictate our peace. It's realizing that just like the clouds in the sky, these moments will pass. So the next time you find yourself in the midst of negativity, Remember that you are the architect of your peace. Build strong. 3. Establish healthy boundaries. It's not about building an impregnable wall, but about choosing which doors to open and when. This selective openness doesn't make you less of a person. It makes you the curator of your own space. Imagine your energy as a limited and precious resource, like water in a desert. Each interaction you participate in is like giving a sip of that water. Would you prefer to give it to someone who sows seeds in your desert, making it flourish, or to someone who lets it evaporate under the scornful sun? Establishing boundaries is about investing your energy wisely, not with arrogance, but with the quiet resolve of a Stoic who knows his worth and the value of his time. It's about calmly communicating, "This is where I draw the line, because your peace is not up for negotiation." So, let's move forward with this mindset. See each day as an opportunity to paint your masterpiece, to invest your energy where wonders grow. Remember that respecting yourself enough to set boundaries is not an act of aggression. It's an act of self-respect and wisdom. Start today, not by cutting people out, but by outlining where your garden ends and the wilderness begins, and watch how the landscape of your life transforms. 4. Control your negative internal dialogue. Surprisingly, the way we talk to ourselves when dealing with toxic people can be our armor or our Achilles heel. Think of your mind as a garden and each thought about yourself as a seed. Planting seeds of strength and resilience helps us stay strong, but if we add doubts and fears, those toxic weeds begin to smother everything good. But that's just part of the story. Walking away is not always an option, and that's where the ancient wisdom of Stoicism comes in. It's not about what happens to us, but how we react to it. Stoicism enlightens us that true strength lies in our reactions. Therefore, as we navigate through the turbulence of another person's negative influence, carefully monitor the conversations you have with yourself. Instead of asking yourself, "Why do I have to deal with this?" consider reflecting on, "How can I grow stronger from this encounter?" You can cultivate resilience, empathy, or the courage to maintain your boundaries. Changing your perspective is not just playing with semantics, it's reclaiming your power. Another tool at your disposal is that small but powerful act. Call it detachment. It's not cold, it's not indifferent. It simply chooses wisely where your energy goes. Imagine someone's negative comments as arrows. Now, if your self-esteem is an impenetrable shield, those arrows can't reach you. This doesn't mean you won't feel the sting sometimes, but remember, those arrows can only hurt you if you allow them. So, take a moment to reflect. How often do you allow external negativity to influence your internal dialogue? Controlling this doesn't mean building a fortress around your heart. It's about knowing your worth, understanding that your reaction is your power, and, sometimes, simply deciding not to give up your peace. Stoicism is not about an existence without emotions, but about choosing which battles are worth your heartbeats. Remember, the only person you truly have control over in this life is you. 5. Manage your energy intelligently. Navigating the turbulent waters of interactions with toxic people can test even the calmest minds. But let's turn the lens inward and explore the concept of energy intelligence as our compass. Think of your energy as a protective barrier, much like a wall of an ancient city, something that preserves your peace and keeps out unwanted negativity. Consider for a moment the power of choice in these situations. Just as you decide what fuel to put in your car, determining its performance and longevity, you have the power to select how to react and relate to individuals who drain energy. Responding with patience and understanding, or choosing simply not to engage at all, can be your super fuel, optimizing your emotional well-being and keeping you on a stable course. This is not about avoiding conflict. It's about arming yourself with wisdom and making decisions that are aligned with your peace. Leveraging this intelligence goes beyond mere self-control. It's about creating a space around you that is so grounded that not even the most powerful storm can shake your foundation. Like a tree deeply rooted in the earth, you are immovable, not because the wind doesn't blow around you, but because you've mastered the art of bending and swaying with it, without breaking. This strength and flexibility will disarm toxic energy, leaving it with no choice but to dissipate or move on. 6. Focus on your personal goals. Focusing on personal goals is like lighting a beacon in the middle of darkness. When you find yourself surrounded by toxic people, it can be easy to lose sight of your goals and allow their negativity to divert you from your path. However, by focusing on your goals, you create a kind of shield that protects you from distractions and helps you maintain mental and emotional clarity. Imagine you're sailing a ship in the middle of a storm. The waves are high and the wind blows fiercely, but you have your internal compass, your goals. These goals act as an anchor that keeps you firm in the midst of the tempest. When you focus on what you truly want to achieve in your life, the negative opinions of others fade in comparison to the determination you feel to reach your dreams. Furthermore, focusing on your goals helps you maintain a long-term perspective. You can recognize that the temporary challenges presented by toxic people are just obstacles on your path to success. Instead of allowing them to discourage you, you see them as tests that strengthen you on your way to your higher aspirations. 7. Seek support when you need it. Just as a single candle can break the darkness, sharing your struggles with someone who understands can illuminate paths you didn't see before. These are the people who add strength to our determination, not by fighting our battles for us, but by reminding us of the power of our own mental strength. Imagine having a wise elder in your corner, offering advice drawn from a well of experience. That's the kind of invaluable support that can help us navigate through toxicity with grace. To tap into the Stoic strength within us, we need to know when external perspectives can help us. It's about understanding that, while we can't control the actions of others, we certainly can control our reactions to them. Through the art of Stoicism, we learn to detach, to see the situation from a higher perspective. It's like zooming out on a map to find alternative routes we might have overlooked while focused on details. By seeking support, we allow ourselves the space to breathe, reflect, and choose our responses carefully, ensuring they align with our values and our inner peace. Now, take a moment to think about your own encounters with challenging individuals. How have you navigated these waters? Have you tried to do it alone, relying solely on your strength, or have you sought that supportive perspective that could change everything? Remember that the true mark of a Stoic is not in silence or solitary suffering, but in knowing when and how to engage the wisdom around us to navigate the path with greater ease and understanding. You have now reached the halfway mark of the video. I congratulate you for trying to become a better version of yourself, and I also humbly ask you to leave a comment, as it helps my channel immensely. If you do not know what to comment, just write mind over body so I know you reached this far. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Also, I've linked some books on Stoicism that helped me become the man I am today and will also help you achieve a Stoic mindset. 8. Adopt solution-oriented approaches. This approach sets the stage for transforming these interactions into opportunities for personal growth and emotional intelligence, rather than sources of frustration. As you can imagine, changing the script in toxic encounters requires creativity. It's like playing chess. You need to think several moves ahead, anticipating reactions without getting emotionally involved. This means listening more than you talk and responding calmly. A trait admired by many, but mastered by few. This strategic creativity allows you to maintain your peace and not be dragged into the chaos. Adaptability in these situations is your best friend. It's the ability to maintain your values while navigating the challenge of interacting with difficult personalities. Imagine you are a tree firm in your roots, but flexible in the wind. You sway, but do not break when faced with the winds of adversity. This resilience strengthens your character and equips you with the tools to face any storm. I invite you now to reflect. How do you react when faced with negativity or manipulation? Remember that the presence of toxic people may not be under your control, but how you respond is. Remember that in the grand scheme of things, it's not the obstacles we face, but how we overcome them that defines us. 9. Recognize false cordiality. On the path of dealing with toxic people, it is essential to be aware of the signs of false cordiality. As Marcus Aurelius once said, it is an act of folly to deceive yourself by avoiding being aware that someone hates or despises you, but even more foolish is to be deceived into believing that someone sincerely loves you. To detect false cordiality, it is important to pay attention to certain indicators of insincerity in interactions with others. Remember that the true mark of a Stoic is not in silence or solitary suffering, but in knowing when and how to engage the wisdom around us to navigate the path with greater ease and understanding. Common signs include superficial gestures, excessive flattery, and behaviors that seem forced or unnatural. Observe if the person's words and actions match their body language and expressions, as incongruence can be a revealing sign of falsehood. Also, be on the lookout for any sudden changes in voice tone or attitude, as well as a lack of consistency in their behavior over time. By recognizing falsehood in interactions, you can protect yourself from negativity and cultivate relationships based on authenticity and genuine trust. Remember that true kindness needs no disguises, and it is preferable to surround yourself with people who are authentic and sincere in their actions and words. Now, a word from our sponsor, the Genius Wave. Tap into the ancient wisdom of Stoicism and the cutting-edge breakthroughs of modern science with their unique brainwave optimization program designed to enhance mental clarity, focus, and cognitive power. As supported by extensive NASA research, this program revitalizes the often neglected theta brainwave, fostering profound learning and intuitive insights. Discover how embracing the Stoic virtues of self-control and wisdom can be amplified through neuroscience, allowing you to access untapped mental reserves. By clicking on the link in the comment section, you not only journey towards personal growth, but also gain exclusive access to this transformative tool. Unlock the secrets to heightened brain function. Don't let this opportunity pass. Embrace the Stoic path to a sharper, more resilient mind today. 10. Practice emotional detachment. As we have mentioned before, emotional detachment is like a journey toward inner liberation, a journey where we learn to separate our emotions from the actions and words of others. It's like watching a play from the stalls. We can appreciate each scene, each act, but we don't allow ourselves to be completely absorbed by it. This ability allows us to maintain calm and mental clarity, even when faced with toxic people or challenging situations. Emotional detachment, as described by Eckhart Tolle, author of The Power of Now, is essential for maintaining inner peace amid outer chaos. Tolle reminds us that detachment doesn't mean you shouldn't own anything, it means that nothing should own you. This perspective urges us to free ourselves from the need to control or cling to the emotions and actions of others. By practicing emotional detachment, we can cultivate a sense of inner freedom and a greater capacity to respond serenely to toxic people and difficult situations. When we practice emotional detachment, we are strengthening our inner self, building a fortress that protects us from the emotional storms that may arise in our environment. As the Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu said, "Water is fluid, soft, and yields to the obstacle. Yet there is nothing more powerful than water, nothing that can withstand it." Similarly, by learning to flow with emotions and situations without clinging to them, we find an inner strength that makes us invincible in the face of adversity. In summary, emotional detachment gives us the freedom to be ourselves, to stand firm in our truth without letting the opinions or actions of others define us. It's a journey of self-discovery and empowerment that allows us to find inner peace amid outer chaos. 11. Cultivate compassion for yourself. In the labyrinth of human relationships, we often forget that we must also direct compassion toward ourselves. When dealing with toxic people, it's easy to fall into the trap of self-criticism and doubt. However, cultivating compassion for oneself is like watering the seeds of self-acceptance and self-love. A phrase from author and psychologist Carl Rogers invites us to reflect on this fundamental aspect. Self-acceptance is the first step toward personal improvement. By recognizing our imperfections and embracing them with compassion, we build a bridge to a healthier relationship with ourselves and ultimately with others. Practicing compassion for oneself does not mean ignoring our weaknesses, but acknowledging them with kindness and working to grow from them. Instead of judging ourselves harshly for our failures, we learn to treat ourselves with the same understanding and patience we would offer to a friend. This compassionate approach to oneself allows us to navigate the turbulent waters of toxic relationships with an armor of authenticity and kindness. It's a reminder that we deserve love and respect, both from others and from ourselves. 12. Prioritize your self-care. Self-care is fundamental when it comes to maintaining mental and emotional health, especially in challenging situations with toxic people. Taking time to care for your physical, mental, and emotional well-being strengthens you and provides the energy needed to face challenges with a clear and resilient mind. As RuPaul says, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? Prioritizing your self-care allows you to establish healthy boundaries and maintain a positive attitude, which helps you navigate successfully through difficult interactions. An important part of self-care is learning to identify and manage stress. Toxic people and challenging interactions can generate a considerable level of emotional stress, and it's crucial to have tools and techniques to manage it effectively. This can include breathing practices, muscle relaxation techniques, and activities that help you disconnect and recharge your energies. Additionally, self-care involves cultivating healthy and nourishing relationships in your life. This can mean surrounding yourself with people who support, inspire, and encourage you to grow. By setting clear boundaries with toxic people and actively seeking positive connections, you are strengthening your support network and creating an environment that fosters your emotional well-being. Therefore, remember that self-care is an essential part of maintaining mental and emotional health, especially in challenging situations with toxic people. By prioritizing your well-being and adopting practices that promote overall health, you are strengthening your ability to face challenges with calm, clarity, and resilience. 13. Avoid getting involved in unnecessary discussions. Choosing your battles wisely is advice as old as time, but it has never been more relevant than in today's world, where every interaction can feel like a minefield. When dealing with toxic people, it's like navigating a maze in the dark. You never know when you might run into a wall. The key here is not to charge against every wall you encounter, but to feel your way around and decide which paths are worth taking. Some conflicts are simply dead-end energy drains with no exit or treasure at the end. Recognizing this can save you many headaches. You might be surprised to find that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is not react at all. Silence can be stronger than any word you could throw into the fray of battle. When toxic people direct their negativity toward you, they are often looking for a reaction, any sign that their words have impacted. By choosing not to participate, you take the wind out of their sails. It's not about ignoring the problem, but about choosing not to let it control you. Your energy is precious. Spend it wisely. Be wary of the trap of trying to change someone's toxic behavior by arguing or reasoning with them. It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. It only feeds the flames. Instead, ask thoughtful questions to encourage them to see the situation from a different perspective. It's about shifting from confrontation to conversation. This approach won't always work, and that's okay. The goal is not to win every battle with them, but to maintain your peace and dignity in the process. Remember that everyone is fighting their own battles, some of which you don't know about. By practicing patience, you give yourself time to respond instead of react. This doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise. Remember that being stoic is not about being emotionless, it's about not letting your emotions control you. It's about choosing where to focus your energy, knowing that not all battles are yours to fight. So, the next time you face a potential discussion, take a step back, breathe, and ask yourself, is it really worth it? 14. Practice forgiveness. Forgiveness is an act of liberation that allows you to let go of the resentment and bitterness that can arise from interactions with toxic people. While it can be difficult to forgive those who have hurt you, doing so frees you from the emotional weight you carry with you. As Nelson Mandela said, forgiveness liberates the soul. It removes fear, which is why it's a powerful tool. Practicing forgiveness does not mean justifying the harmful actions of others, nor forgetting the harm caused. Rather, it's about recognizing your own power to free yourself from suffering and move forward with your life. By forgiving, you allow yourself to let go of the attachment to past pain and open yourself to the possibility of experiencing greater inner peace and emotional well-being. Additionally, forgiveness gives you the opportunity to establish healthy boundaries in your relationships. By freeing yourself from resentment and anger, you can set clear boundaries with toxic people and protect yourself from future harm. As C.S. Lewis said, forgiveness empowers you to maintain a positive and constructive attitude, even in the midst of challenging difficulties. While it may require practice and time, forgiveness is an act of self-compassion that allows you to heal and grow. By freeing yourself from the weight of the past, you can open yourself to new opportunities and healthier relationships in the present and future. 15. Value yourself. Finally, I want to remind you of something important. Your worth is immense and unique, and no one can take it away from you. Sometimes, in the midst of chaos and interactions with toxic people, it's easy to forget how incredible you are. But here I am to remind you, don't let the opinions of others define you. You are who you are, and that's what makes you special. As Brené Brown says, the only difference between brave people and those who are not is that brave people have the courage to do it, even though their inner voices tell them not to. So yes, you may have difficult moments, but each one makes you stronger and braver. Your worth is not determined by the judgments of others, but by your own perception of yourself. So stand up, shake off those doubts, and remember how incredible you are. You have a unique value to bring to the world, and no one can deny that. You are capable of facing any challenge and overcoming any obstacle that stands in your way. You are worth a lot, and never forget that. Now, if any part of this message has been helpful to you, leave us your like and comment, helping the algorithm recommend it to someone who needs it at this time. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss new videos. And if you look through the videos we've already uploaded, you're sure to find something to take with you. Have a good day.